Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's cast of the SpyParty Summer Cup 2019. Joining me tonight is my co-caster, Paratroopa,
Hello.
and tonight we are going to be covering bracket stages, round of 32, KumaKid versus Virifaux.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup because I am not particularly familiar with either of these players. I
Yeah,
do know that Virifaux has been around for quite a while, has nearly 10,000 wins, which is nothing to sneeze at.
no, I think Virifaux has maybe I think it's third or fourth highest amount of games played out of anyone, but I think it might go to second if you count like numerous alt accounts on the leaderboard. I'm not sure, but either way, it's a lot.
And KumaKid is apparently fairly new to the scene and scored, I'd say, a little bit of an upset draw over Turnout and managed to get slightly better results and took the second place in Group P.
Yeah, I mean that's not something that anyone expected. I mean, Turnout has been playing, I guess, basically about as long as Virifaux, and KumaKid tied him, and then got a decisive victory over Mr. High. That was a 7-1 win. KumaKid needed to get at least 6-2 to get into second place there because of the tie with Turnout, and he got it in a glorious fashion. Meanwhile, Viri's path into the bracket looked a little bit different. The very first match played and cast of the Summer Cup this year was Virifaux versus T-Flame. Everyone was really excited for it, and Virifaux went against prediction and actually lost. And so it was looking like, wow, T-Flame beat Virifaux. He's going to get first in the division. Is Virifaux even going to make it out? Maybe in second? But then T-Flame didn't win a single other match, and Virifaux won both of his other matches and still ended up in first place.
Yeah, really surprising result. You don't expect to see too many victories from third place over first place in the final standings of any of these groups, but it is possible for that to happen, and we saw it in Group A. So
Yeah.
that was a little bit of one of the more chaotic divisions in this Summer Cup, I would say.
And so they both made it into the bracket here. They are at the top left spot because Virifaux was in Group A. And this is the first match we're going to be seeing from this quadrant here. It's not the scariest quadrant in the bracket. That would be, of course, the top right one with Ponu, Wodar, KCM, Dowsey, Crazy Kaylee, Warning Track.
Oh my goodness.
And the other match in this quadrant here, Turnip Boy versus Max Edward Snacks, we're going to be seeing that live on Sunday. Let's go over the match format really quickly while the players are getting set up. This is going to be a best of 10, first to 6 wins, and we're going to be seeing 2 games each of Moderne, Gallery, Terrace, Veranda, and Balcony. If they are still tied after that, we would go on to extra time, transforming it into a best of 16, or maybe even sudden death, which is endless balcony. But
Oh
we'll
boy.
get there if we get there.
I would like to see some endless balcony. I think that would be fun.
I think so too. We might be up pretty late if that happens. But I mean, it's a possibility. KumaKid has definitely been practicing a lot, watching a lot of streams, has become quite knowledgeable about SpyParty in a very short amount of time, which is a trend we see a lot with newer players of this generation.
Absolutely. I can see that KumaKid has about as many wins as I do, but about 200 fewer games played. So he has been having some success here. Uh, but yeah, you can in Summer Cup, especially since we don't play too many games. There's high potential that we'll just see a sniper party set, even between two players who are of differing experience levels.
Yeah, I mean,
So
especially when
anything could
you
really happen.
Yeah, when you look at the match format here, Moderne, that's something that both snipers can win. Terrace, something maybe both snipers can win. And then if you even keep it tied up, you go into balcony, and at that point, it is possible for anyone to get 2 points there. So I think it's an exciting match format, and I think it's in line with what the Summer Cup represents when you consider the random seeding, the single elimination. We want these sort of exciting situations where anything can happen.
Absolutely.
And so players are getting into game now. Looks like they are going to be starting it up here. And so with 2 players like this, I'm really curious to see what we're going to be seeing on Moderne. Virifaux is definitely someone who might go with some more unconventional strategies. We've been seeing a lot of people just play slow standard games here, and I'm always interested to see if people can buck that trend.
Yeah, that will be interesting because Modern's kind of a map where, as Spy, you have to do a little bit of a tricky thing to get a Spy win most of the time, unless an AI decides to be unusually aggressive about completing missions.
Yeah, I see it as sort of a test for the sniper. Everything is in view, it's just on the sniper to track it all. And that's already going to be sort of difficult for Virifaux here. We have one of those bar rushes at the beginning, and that's something that the Spy always likes to see. The thing is, if there's a bar rush like that, I want to see the Spy do one of two things. Either join the bar rush, or do anything other than that. And all we did was enter this useless conversation with nothing in it, so I don't know about that from KumaKid.
Yeah, not really a whole lot going on here so far.
Do you think maybe KumaKid's plan is to wait for one of those bar visitors to enter next to him, and then he can pretend to be delegated to? That's sort of the only thing I think KumaKid might be thinking right now.
Yeah, that's possible. We've got Sari in our conversation here, but she's, I think, a little bit closer to Wheels than to us. So even if even if we did pretend to be delegated, I don't know if that would be convincing or not. We are going to go to bar here.
Yeah, is KumaKid going for it? He's either going for the frame on Orange Sari here, or he's just going to hope to fit in with all the other people at the bar and send the delegate off himself. And it looks like that's the option he's taking. I don't know how well it'll work. I think if you want to make it look like it was one of those initial rushers, you need to send the delegate off like ASAP, because otherwise their timers are going to run out, and you were the only one who was at the bar there. But KumaKid's not sending it off right away. He's getting marked suspicious though, a little bit late. Is that a highlight just from being at the bar, or is it for entering and talking?
I'm not sure. When we got to the bar, it looked like we were a little bit late on taking the drink, or not taking it in this case. We did that little delegate cheese. I'm not sure about that.
But it looks like KumaKid decided not to send anyone off for it. We might be sending someone off now. I don't think the timer has quite expired, but it's getting a little risky. We are in position to bug the ambassador, though. I'm not even sure the ambassador is going to be forced out. No, he is, but that means we can get the briefcase.
We should really take this fingerprint, because we need to get some progress going here real quick. The Twin's got to take this briefcase if we don't, and so he does.
Yeah.
Now he is already highlight. I'm not sure. I don't remember what that was for. If it was for statues or something else.
Well,
So that could be some good AI progress.
Well, the twin who just took the briefcase is low lit on my screen. Are we getting some sort of spectation glitch?
I don't know. That's interesting.
Anyway.
Yeah, no. Both twins are highlight for me, so I don't know.
Wow,
what time are you at? I'm at 134.
Yeah, I'm at 134 as well. Try updating your timeline. Sometimes it gets weird, and if you just click on the timeline, it changes. Anyway, contact came off there. A few lowlights available. Party's not super narrowed down, but I mean, KumaKid's progress at this point. There's really, really not much. Didn't get the delegate, didn't get the fingerprint. We're going in for inspects here. I mean, statues are a quick way to get mission progress done, but with only a minute left, I think you would need to go to another statue and probably just swap it, because you don't have time for anything else, really.
Yeah, there really isn't a lot of time to do much here. Now, I do think that on Modern, it is possible to do a late rush of missions and win, just because you've gone so long without doing anything that you're sometimes not within the sniper's focus. But you're just so low on time here that I don't know that it's going to even be possible.
Yeah, and I was about to say that we probably were the sniper's focus because our highlight had kept for a really long time. It went back down. Whoa. The highlight went back down after we took the drink at the bar. Then it came back up when we entered next to the ambassador, but I think then it went back down maybe because Virifaux realized we have a drink, so we couldn't have bugged there. Getting a fingerprint, but I mean, no. The only way you could win this is if you went for a time ad. Literally nothing else will work, even if you swap this statue.
You don't even have enough time to do an inspect swap here, but even if you did...
Safety off on the twin, though. Virifaux wants to shoot the twin, but it's just going to time out, not going to happen, and Virifaux gets the point.
That's interesting, because if we had 5 missions done there, we would have forced overtime, and that might have drawn a shot on the wrong person. But unfortunately, we didn't have that second fingerprint. We didn't have inspects done in time.
No, unfortunately, KumaKid fell into the modern trap, just did not get enough missions done, and with just not the correct pacing at all. And I think right at the end there was really no reason to go to the statue because you couldn't finish missions, and even if you got a swap done, it would happen in like the last 10 seconds, so the sniper would have to wait until overtime to shoot someone, and of course the overtime would never come, so then they would just get a win from a timeout anyway. KumaKid definitely needed to at least try to go for a timeout at that point.
Yeah, really see the difficulty of modern there. That it's just very easy to run out of time and not have a way to complete missions, even if you really want to.
Yeah. Now the good news for KumaKid is that you're not really expected to win your spy games on Modern anyway, so you're behind by 1 point right now, but it's the point that you were supposed to be behind by anyway. Virifaux not going to be making the same mistake that KumaKid made, though, just immediately going in for the seduction target here at the start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice to get a little early seduce there. You don't want to have to walk around Modern too much if you can avoid it, and be chasing the ST all day, because, again, time is really of the essence on this map.
Yeah, we're not going to do anything with the book, and that's fine. That's not what we went there for, and we're just immediately chasing the ST back into conversation. And the fact is, a lot of snipers, even at higher experience levels, are really not going to punish you for this sort of flirt chasing, especially on Modern. Kmars being the exception, as we saw last night with a flirt shot on Modern, just for completing flirt.
Oh gosh, I didn't see that. That's great, though. I would be very tempted to highlight the twin here for chasing General twice, especially just because they're twins, so I need to highlight someone, and they're the first one to do something suspicious. But oftentimes that won't be punished.
Yeah, and so we had another bar rush here. It's been a pretty steady flow of people, and so we're joining. Even Buns is coming next to us and joining. I think it's going to be pretty hard to keep track of all the people who've been to the bar so far, so I think it's a good choice from Virifaux to go for a Purloin here. Smallman coming to the bar, the Ambassador coming to the bar as well.
I like how we were definitely about to enter conversation with General, but then he left, so we kind of had to go for something else there. This is going to be an interesting delegate here, with everyone leaving this conversation at once. It really didn't look too much like a delegate to me, and we're going to be far away from that conversation by the time this list gets taken.
Right, that's how it works, right? If you're far away from the bar when the list gets taken, it couldn't have been you. That's how Purloin works, right?
It's impossible to get to the other side of the map in time.
Up on Modern, yeah, makes sense. Anyway,
but they're really... Oh, are we going to go back to the bar? No, we're kind of taking an odd path here. That was a little bit curvy. I kind of thought we were going to go back to the bar just so it would really look like we weren't delegating, but instead we go into statues.
Yeah, Irish has taken the list now. Now we're going to wait and see KumaKid's reaction. Yeah, definitely moving that laser over people. And yeah, low lighting a bunch. I think I had a little lag delay there on the low lights.
I'm definitely having some glitchiness with my lighting because I'm not seeing any low lights taken.
Yeah, I didn't see them for a second either. I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. But either way, KumaKid has narrowed down the party, but not a lot. I'm pretty sure not every single one of these neutral or highlights remaining went to the bar, so it's not as narrowed down as it could be. Contact coming off, though, can narrow down more. There's a few people at the bar, Wheels over at the window over there. Now the party is pretty narrowed down, so even though I don't think KumaKid can know for sure who did the Purloin, there aren't many options left, and Virifaux is at least a highlight for statues. It's going to be very clear that he's going to complete inspects right now, and this is stuff that KumaKid can definitely be noticing.
Yes, it is important to know that Viri is highlighted for statues, not necessarily for the Purloin. So it's unclear how much Kuma suspects Viri for the Purloin, or whether or not he has any... Okay, yeah, it's clear now.
It's clear now. It could be as a major suspect for the Purloin. It could just be for finishing inspects. But luckily for KumaKid, that was not Virifaux's last mission. Virifaux still needs a flirt, and it doesn't look like he's willing to go chase General to the shelf to get it. That means he's going to have to chase the flirt in the last 30 seconds and do another mission. And that means as long as KumaKid holds his shot, he could have shot Viri, but he doesn't hold it. He shoots Queen. And I think that means... It's sort of what I said. It's not that the twin was the biggest suspect for the Purloin. It's that the twin was finishing statues, and KumaKid didn't know who did the Purloin, so it just felt like he had to shoot someone who was completing missions. Could have been the twin, but instead it was Queen getting a fingerprint. KumaKid didn't know who did the purloin, just was a little trigger happy on anyone finishing missions there.
Yeah, I suppose that he must have imagined after 10 seconds passed after doing those statues, well, maybe it wasn't twin because that wasn't, mission completion. So maybe it's someone else I need to shoot. And of course, you need to be decisive. If you think that missions were completed there on that inspect, you need to shoot twin. And unfortunately, yeah, just got a little bit trigger happy there on Queen taking that fingerprint.
Yeah.
So I do think that the purloin was effective. I don't think that Kuma had a very clear idea of who did the delegate.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bar rush with a steady stream of people. Very hard to manage it. KumaKid could have improved their play there if they had a more decisive idea of who had been to the bar. I mean, that's just memory practice that comes the more you play. Could have low-lit maybe a few more people. I don't know if Queen was one of them. And then, yeah, it's just, like you said, being decisive. I mean, it's hard to be decisive if you're really not sure who the spy is. So, tragic.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing about Modern, too, is just that taking that early purloin and showing that the list is gone, you do narrow down the party a lot, but if you don't narrow it down to just yourself, there's a very high chance that someone will get shot, so you can take advantage of that as the spy.
Yeah, because it gives them mission count, it gives them a mission count. They know the purloin's done. They know that's one mission. Flirt done, contact done, shoot someone who gets inspects or prints, because that's 4 missions, and, maybe they snuck a bug by you or something like that. But yes, let's move on to Gallery. We have an ambassador here in a position I referred to last night as very juicy. It's just very tempting to take it.
Oh boy, it is very tempting.
Oh, we tried a reverse drive-by bug, but the ambassador wouldn't really get close enough when leaving that pad to go outside, so it doesn't take, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Is this the 3rd time we've been twin?
It's the 2nd time in a row, but I don't think we were twin in the first game. I think in the first game we were rocker.
Oh, that's correct. That's correct. We walked right by the ambassador coming outside here, but we didn't bug, which sometimes can look very AI-like. Even when that bug would not have worked. That would have been right on camera, but, still.
But we're high-lit anyway, and I wonder what that's for. Do you think it's just for being in this conversation and talking? Because I'm pretty sure that Virifaux knows that we didn't bug the ambassador there.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, the only thing I can imagine is that we were just being quite active. We went outside, got in that conversation quickly, talked quickly. Could just be a twin differentiation. Like, this twin has been a little bit more suspicious, so I'll highlight one of them. I don't know if Viri does that, though.
I don't know. I mean, Viri definitely takes unconventional highlights sometimes, and I think it's really interesting if Viri's actually watching conversation etiquette. I mean, look at this front conversation. Everyone in there is high-lit now.
That conversation leave was a little bit sketchy. We walked through some people to get to that briefcase. I'm not sure if that was all right.
But it looks like we did hit a difficult fingerprint on it, though. That's good.
That is very good. I don't know if Viri will credit fingerprint on this briefcase or not. It's unclear. It's always unclear how much the sniper knows how many people have been to that briefcase.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, we're still falling into pacing problems here on Gallery as well. I think we just twitched closer to the seduction target to try to make sure our flirt was better, but the seduction target was repelled by our twitching and left. Now we would have to chase him to the painting pad to get it. Not going to happen. And same thing as on Modern, KumaKid is just going in for the statues as some, good old reliable mission progress.
This is tough because there really aren't that... there's a few highlights of this party, but not that many. And if we were highlight for being active, we haven't stopped being active since. So not really doing a lot to lower suspicion here because we're just moving all about.
No, now we're going to head back. Okay, now we can enter next to Duke, the seduction target. We had to kind of jam ourselves in there. Getting a contact as well, and it is a green. It was very noticeable that we weren't talking.
That green banana bread was critical. If we wipe B-beat, that would have been extremely bad.
But what's the plan?
We just don't have mission count.
It's the same
We're
as
gonna
Modern.
gulp here, and that's gonna be noticed, right? The gulp.
It doesn't matter. KumaKid can't win this. We're fingerprinting the statue. We're getting inspects on it, and then what? We have to swap it and go into overtime? There's no way we can get away with that. We have to flirt, but there's not enough time.
Oh, so close. I love this rush attempt, but it's just not there. Oh man, that's so close. I still kind of think we would have been shot, considering our activity at the end of the timer there was very suspicious. But I really would have liked to see that flirt get off, and we could have seen the shot
Yeah, that's true. I would
or
have liked
not.
that. I think the final inspect happened with less than 10 seconds left, so it would have gone to overtime, and Virifaux knew it would have gone to overtime, so it wouldn't have worked out anyway. But that's really just 2 SPY games in a row from KumaKid now. The same exact play, the same progression, the same timeout.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised. It's interesting to see the choice of venues for this round of the Summer Cup, just because I do think that Modern and Gallery are probably the two most time crunchy mission venues for Spy, in my opinion.
Ooh, that walking bug attempt. That was such a
Oh,
tussle over there at the entrance. Didn't take, doesn't look like it was seen. A very awkward entry into that conversation. We landed in it, but then we took another step anyway.
yeah, I don't know if that'll be seen 'cause for unusually enough, there were nobody in that conversation circle, which is unusual for Gallery. That probably will not be the case for the rest of this match. But yeah, I don't know if it'll be seen just because the rest of the party was pretty active. So,
Oh, can we
ooh,
take this
Twin!
bug? Yes, we're...
Twin kind of did an interesting path there, and then we get the bug off, and that was pretty hard to see in my opinion.
I mean, hard to see the arm, but we were kind of standing next to the ambassador and then left and curved right around him. And if KumaKid was looking at Duke for that bug at all, he would notice that Duke entered conversation and talked immediately. But there's no reaction from KumaKid for that, which makes me think that KumaKid doesn't suspect the bug.
Yeah, I think we probably got off that bug clean, but we'll see. It's very possible that he didn't, and we just can't tell. It's hard to tell what's in the sniper's brain sometimes.
And so for that contact that just happened, the SDA in the front, Iris, she was picking up to get the briefcase at the time, which means only the back conversation has real banana bread, but it doesn't look like KumaKid took the highlights for that. And in fact, am I getting expectation glitches again? Because I have no lowlights in this party.
Yeah, I didn't see any lowlights either, but I'm not confident about that.
No, definitely no lowlight. So that means maybe KumaKid is aware that only the back conversation has real and is focusing on them, but I think it means KumaKid was probably just super focused on something else at the time of the banana bread, maybe watching for a bug or a purloin, and therefore didn't narrow the party down, didn't get the highlights for real BB, and that means that KumaKid is definitely behind now.
Look at Twin, the mind control here to get Twin over to this green bookcase. We saw a little nod from Viri on the spy camera there. Very happy to get that seduce finished in an almost completely invisible way. Like, there's just no way.
Yeah, and now all Viri needs to do is get these inspects, and there's really no way that KumaKid is going to shoot for them, I don't think. KumaKid almost shot Viri for inspects on Modern, but that's because he knew a purloin was gone. In this case, Virifaux has done a bug, which is an invisible mission that does not leave a trace, and so there's really no reason to shoot for finishing of inspects.
Yeah, so I wonder if we're just going to go into this second set of statues to just do another inspect here and get it done with. We're hovering over Duke, but I don't think we suspect this. I think this is... Oh!
Oh!
Oh, my
Whoa!
goodness! All right, Kuma actually was way more onto this than I thought.
I'm shocked! Okay, alright, I admit I misinterpreted that.
That's a brilliant shot. I think that Kuma must have been more suspicious of the bug than we thought. Or at least wasn't for a while, but maybe when those inspects were finished, maybe thought back to it and went, Duke did have that bug path.
I am so surprised.
That's a very impressive shot. I'm very curious to know exactly what Kuma's thought process there was, whether or not he noticed the bug.
Yeah, I mean, when you consider the fact that there were no lowlights from the banana bread, again, unless we're having some sort of glitch, it could mean that he was just so sure about it being Duke that that's the reason he was doing nothing. He was just watching Duke the whole time, waiting for Duke to finish missions.
That is very possible. It's possible that he saw the bug and was just focusing on Duke and was waiting for Duke to complete missions. Just kind of, waiting it out just in case. So that's a very interesting. We kind of misread that a little bit. Turns out that Kuma was all over that.
Yeah. of course, there's two options. A, Kuma was all over that. B, Kuma had no idea what was going on and just shot someone who finished in specs.
That is actually possible as well, but I would like to, assume the best.
Yeah.
It's just very surprising because really Viri didn't show much else besides the bug and the inspects. Like, the Seduce was pretty invisible since we got finished in a really nice place. And the contact was pretty good, so there wasn't really much reason other than inspects to shoot, unless, of course, he saw the bug.
Yeah, and I think Virifaux was probably just as surprised about that shot as we were. When you look at the timing of the two inspects, it felt like, I don't need to space these out. I can just go back right away. He's not going to shoot me.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Viri was pretty aggressive about the inspects there. Probably wasn't too worried about getting shot, because I did feel like that was a very good spy game up to that point.
We're highlit.
Yeah, I don't even see what we did, like, at all.
I think it might just be a misclick. I think we were trying to highlight the ambassador, and we were next to the ambassador, but the highlight has stuck, and that means that poor KumaKid is going to have this nice white border around him the whole time, despite not doing a single thing to earn it.
Boy, oh boy, and we can see that Viri is definitely a little bit of a behavioralist sniper. We've already got a couple of lowlights off here. For reasons that I have no idea.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good to just admit it. No, we could pretend. We could be like, well, you see, Twim was low-lit because... No, doesn't matter, though. KumaKid's a highlight. That's definitely not behavioral. That was definitely a misclick. But the good news is it doesn't look like we're doing much so far. We were in conversation. We didn't talk. We went to the bar to get a flirt, but that's not really something that looks like a pairing. My God, that other conversation is super full.
Yeah, no kidding. And we're just kind of sitting here chatting with the Amba, which doesn't look very suspicious. This highlight still sticks. I don't know if it...
Fake banana bread! Fake banana bread! Everyone in that other conversation has real, and it's only Queen and us who don't. Oh my God, I love it.
I really like this play. It just looks... It really doesn't look like Irish should be the spy here. I mean, it's a good place to take a fake, but...
Oh my God, that looked like a wrong arm bug attempt, but it didn't happen. Maybe we were going for it, but because we had the drink, we just didn't do the walk properly, so we didn't get the option?
Yeah, I'm not sure. So now we're moving around quite a bit here. Can get this flirt.
We are. Queen is low lit now. She wasn't a low light when we did that fake banana bread. So now we're the only person who is not low lit in this party who doesn't have real BB. And I wonder if Virifaux is really considering that Irish could be the spy or not.
Oh, I liked that redirect away from the briefcase. That looked pretty good. That looked pretty well timed, in my opinion.
And yet it does not earn a low light from Virifaux. That's
just
another bug path, but I think... Yeah, because of the drink, still not able to. My God, it looked like Virifaux was about to zoom in and take safety off there. I would have been shocked, but no.
Wow, yeah, that's... Irish really doesn't have much mission progress aside from Seduce.
There's the wrong arm!
That was a really good bug. I was on sniper camera and I did not see the arm move.
No, that was a pro bug. The only problem is it's like the third bug path that we've taken, but we don't have real BB, and so Virifaux might really just not be watching Irish right now. Doesn't look like any of the other guests are giving Virifaux a reason to shoot, though. The ambassador is not going to be pushed out, not giving anyone the opportunity to get another print. So at this point, you really want the double agent to get in so you can do another contact and just hope that Virifaux's not able to shoot you for the bug. Doesn't look like it's happening, though. The double agent over here at the window, they're not going to enter conversation in time. What's KumaKid going to do to salvage this? You can't wait for the double agent to enter. It's not happening. You would have had to do a time ad. There's no other choice. You can't get to the bar and Purloin in time. And KumaKid, despite the fantastic fake banana bread and the fantastic wrong arm bug, isn't able to pull out the win.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh man, that was such a good bug. I don't know that Viri saw it. Maybe suspected it, but I think if we did, I think we would have been highlit. So that if we had gotten a contact, now I don't know if that would have changed, the math. If Viri would have realized quickly enough that the first one was fake and the second one was Irish doing a BB, but that there was definitely a chance to get a spy win there, and just unfortunately the DA just betrayed us.
Yeah, wow. I'm still sort of reeling from that one. Feels bad for KumaKid as well. I mean, that was a really fantastic bug.
Yeah, I'm still really curious why Viri highlight Irish at the start. I mean, I assume it's a misclick, but there could have been some kind of shenanigans with regard to player control or something. I don't know.
I think it was like literally within the first second of the game, so I think it was a misclick, but I don't know. I mean, if another banana bread had come off, I mean, there's two scenarios. If Irish was talking, if we got a white BB, I think it could be bad. If we hit a green, I really don't think it would have looked bad. And then Virifaux would have basically had 10 seconds to make a decision. And could he really be that confident that it's Irish? You know?
Yeah, hard to say.
And here's Virifaux messing with the mission setup, but then ultimately landing back on the standard with statues off. But then messing with it again, but then the statues are back off. Can we do play-by-play of the mission setup screen?
Right, well, we see the Purloin mission come off the inspect, but no, oh, we're back to Purloin. All right.
Looks like Virifaux was pretty indecisive. I mean, statues off is just the standard you want for Terrace. Most people do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you just don't want to swap here. It's so easy to see it. With inspects, yes, a guest might go to statues twice, but they would have to go to two different sets of statues to finish, and so it just doesn't really happen that often. And of course, you really like having the Purloin on to bring it down to a 50-50.
The Purloin just takes so much more mental work than the Inspects does. That's really the thing for me, is that Inspects, it just doesn't take that much effort to keep track of that. But
Yeah.
Purloin, you have to be watching pretty carefully the entire time. So even if you don't do the Purloin, it takes away the sniper's attention from potentially getting a bug off or, finishing your seduce or whatever.
And wow, we mind controlled the seduction target right next to us, and then we decided to talk and immediately leave, making it look like Tex delegated to us. This is a frame game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to take this list.
I mean, I'm 100% sure we're taking this list. I would bet money on it. There's no doubt about it at all. We even left mid-talk. It was very blatant that we left that conversation and Tex sent us. And yeah, we are going to directly take the list. Now we're going to see KumaKid's reaction, because here's the thing. You need to trust the sniper to know who sent you, and I don't know if KumaKid knows.
It's unclear to me. He does have highlights for bar visitors, and here come the lowlights.
Yeah, so the lowlights are on anyone who didn't go to the bar, but does KumaKid know exactly who it was that we were next to? We were alone in that conversation at the start. It was pretty easy to see that Tex Cowboy entered next to us.
Yeah, but we may not have been, even though we took those highlights for bar, we may not have been suspecting that the list would be gone so soon, so maybe a little bit caught off guard here. That'd be a very, very bold play for Tex to do as spy, but it's possible.
Tex going over to statues. Inspect's not on, though. I mean, basically, we really need Tex to look like a spy right now. So we have to hope. Is he going to go for this briefcase? Is he in range for it? If he is, that's great. Duke's going to beat him to it, though. And he redirects away to go to more statues.
Oh, he goes to the second statues. Oh, man. If we had inspects on.
Yeah.
If we had inspects on. Oh, GG. GG. But no.
And we did a nice redirect. I think we were walking over to the statue, but when Tex landed on the pad, we turned around. Basically, Virifaux is saying, all right, Tex, if you want to look AI-like by going to statues, I'm going to do the same thing. Now Tex is entering conversation. He's close to Rocker-ish, which could look like a flirt, but he needs to talk. And if he doesn't talk...
Yeah. Tex also got real close to the Amba there, but it didn't really look like Tex could have bugged, so I don't think that we're going to be suspicious of that.
Alright, Tex is talking. Maybe he's flirting with Rocker. Maybe flirting with Sari across the conversation. He's leaving. He's taking another bug path there. I don't know. Did KumaKid have the right angle to be sure that Tex didn't bug?
Boy, I don't know. That's hard to say. I think that it looked like Tex could have possibly bugged there, but he would have been a little bit far away, I think.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, we actually red flirted him away to make him leave so that it might look like he's either bugging or just active at that point.
I really like that strategy.
Oh, all right. Well, we're
Being in the
contacting.
red.
Seek doesn't have real. We're the only highlight with real
Oh,
BP now. KumaKid
we don't
might
have it
feel he
either.
needs to take the shot, and he does. You know, he doesn't.
No,
He
he
safety
doesn't take the
offs, but he
shot.
needs to take the shot if that was the
Well-
last mission. It's not, though, so he's getting away with holding the shot. Doesn't matter either way. KumaKid gets the point.
Yeah, we didn't even get the BB anyway because the double agent decided to grab the briefcase. So we really didn't have mission progress there. So a nice work for Kuma there, being correct on who the spy was, but also not taking the shot because they didn't have missions done.
Yeah, I mean, even if the double agent didn't get the briefcase there, we would have been the only person to have real. We still looked like the only person potentially getting real, so it was pretty easy to assume that Pearls was the spy. And luckily, it
Yeah.
just didn't matter. Didn't matter either way if the contact was real or not, if he held or not, because we just didn't have the missions done.
Yeah. Of course, if we were Tex, we could have done a fake banana bread there with Pearls, and that would have been real tricky to not take that shot, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, and this is just sort of another case of the party really not giving us what we wanted. We wanted Tex to look spy-like, and if not Tex, just any of the other highlights for Bar to look spy-like. And again, it came down to the double agent. The double agent was not giving us a good opportunity to frame someone with a contact. When they finally entered conversation, all of the highlights were in the other conversation, and there just wasn't anything Viri could do. So, you know, it's kind of karma, I guess. That's how Viri got his sniper win, so that's how he loses his spy
Right.
game.
Boy, that's our fourth spy timeout of the set, which is a lot. That's generally the least common outcome you see in a match.
Yeah, I think it's good to have the timeouts on your record, though. You know, anyone watching this, if you play against Viri or KumaKid, you know, they might just time out. And so that means, you know, you might be more willing
You
to
might
hold
be
your
less
shot.
aggressive about your shot. Yeah.
And then they might finish missions. I think that's something Kaylee says a lot. He always likes to time out at least rarely, at least occasionally, so that the sniper always knows that it's a possibility. I mean,
Right,
that
I
especially
agree with that.
applies at the level Kaylee is at, where all the players are, you know, researching each other all the time.
You probably want to time out, 5% of the time or so, just once in a while. Just throw it out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's situation dependent. You should time
Of
out
course.
the games when, like, you know that you're not going to be able to get mission progress done.
Of course, yeah.
And so now we're moving into Veranda. Virifaux still only at 4 points here. So if this goes Sniper Party, it would still come down to Balcony to get the match point for Viri. So even though it feels like Viri has had a pretty strong lead the whole time, it's not completely, hasn't completely gotten away from KumaKid. And wow, okay, yeah,
Oh,
there's an
boy, oh,
entire
boy.
conversation getting highlit because Viri doing Viri things, I guess.
I do not understand the voodoo that Viri is doing here, but those highlights are correct, so I can't question it.
Yeah, well, one of them is correct. And
Oh, boy.
whoa, that was an interesting leave of conversation. But honestly, I mean, I might lowlight for that because I don't see any reason why the spy would have left conversation in that
Yeah,
way.
that was real interesting. I don't know what I would think of that if I even saw it, which it's possible that Viri did not. I don't know.
And now a bunch more
Right.
people getting highlight in this conversation. I think Viri might be doing the thing where you highlight people in a conversation and then you look back, you know, a minute later and see who's still in the conversation, and then you
Yeah.
can lowlight them.
Starting to think that these highlights are very aggressive, which probably means they're also very soft, so we might not be in that much danger. We have a lot of highlights of this party right now, and Boots is going right up next to the Ambassador. We didn't even have that great an angle on it. I don't think it really looked like a bug, but
But contact coming off, that's going to rule
Contact
Boots
is
out.
good.
But these conversations here in front are all looking really full. So are the ones in back. General SDA just joined that
Whoa.
conversation.
we low lit sorry for that? That was really interesting. I don't know why we lit sorry for that. She wasn't talking, but I mean, could have been a green.
Now this
I
I
don't
don't
understand.
like. We left conversation right after the banana bread, and I think if Virifaux is looking at those highlights to see who's staying in the conversation or who's active, I think it's quite noticeable that Kane left the conversation after the banana bread.
That was an interesting little redirect away from statues, though. It didn't look particularly spy-like to me, so that was really interesting. If we went for microfilm now, it might not be seen. We do have some cover. We don't go for it, though.
Yeah, We read that book for a while, though, before leaving. I like walking behind this conversation. I mean, look, it's not impossible for spies to do, but it looks a little better than walking in front of it.
A little bit. We are starting to run out of time, though, again. We've only got 1:37 left, and, we've had, as Kuma, we have not been able to complete missions this entire set.
Yeah.
We do have fake BB here with the double agent in conversation, which is interesting. Was that a misclick?
I have no idea. It looked like it could have maybe been trying to cover for a bug because we had the ambassador with us, but we didn't go for it. Now we're going to return the book properly here, not bugging on the way in. We're getting a flirt.
Yeah, but we really need to do something here. We have got a minute left. I think we should take a time ad sooner rather than later if we want to complete missions.
Yeah, KumaKid has not been doing time ads. I mean, KumaKid ran into these same exact pacing issues on Modern and Gallery, didn't do the time ad, and it's like, great, we're getting inspects, we're getting a fingerprint here, but there's 50 seconds left on the clock, and you're literally physically not going to be able to finish missions. And my god, Viri doesn't even care.
All right. Wow, that's a very aggressive shot, but it was the correct one.
I mean, this is, I think, the way Viri's highlights are working. He's highlighting people at the beginning, not because they're necessarily super suspicious, but just to continue monitoring them. And that means that he was able to see everything that Kane was doing. And, I mean, Kane did, a proper book return, which might have lowered suspicion, but apparently not. And so you just notice a fingerprintable statue from this person that you've already been watching a lot, who sort of had some bug opportunities, who was in for both BBs, and you're like, yeah, I guess I'll shoot them, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that shot. Kane was moving around a lot, but if we really were watching him, he didn't have much mission progress. Like, even if we credit bug at the bookcase, which we could have, but it's a very aggressive shot. I don't know about that. But it was the correct one, so I can't really criticize it either.
Yeah, now Virifaux is up 5-2. He's on match point, just needs to get one more win to take the set. But KumaKid does have a path to victory here. Winning as sniper statistically is slightly more likely than winning as spy. So if KumaKid can just get the sniper win here, we can take it to balcony, and at that point, it's anyone's game. Virifaux, are you having fun trying to get into that conversation, pal?
Yeah, boy, oh boy, that was a little bit rough there. Definitely not over for Kuma here because winning as spy on Veranda is pretty tricky. So if we could get a sniper win here, which I won't say is easy, but is easier than winning as spy, then we'll be on balcony. And who knows? Who knows how balcony will go?
Yeah, I mean, at the higher levels, Veranda has a very high sniper win rate. At this, oh boy, that's a red test. Red test.
Oh dear. Well, Smallman's moving around a lot, so there's that.
There's a bug.
That's a good bug.
Yeah.
The sniper did not have the angle to see that bug at all.
But that's a white swap. Right on screen, that statue clearly changed, KumaKid. You saw it. I know you saw it. Taking the shot? No. Highlighting. Just highlighting for statues.
Boy, wow, we took that briefcase. We moved quickly after putting it down. If Kuma was looking at that after maybe suspecting Seek for having done some shenanigans, boy, we really look like the spy right now, I have to say.
Yeah, I guess KumaKid still hasn't seen the swap? No, he has, okay.
Yeah, no, he saw it,
Great.
That's fine.
Yeah.
He was just being thorough, which is good, that's fine.
Yeah, there was no reason to shoot that early. I guess he was just waiting for the contact. I mean, the fingerprint couldn't have helped.
Yeah, you could wait for the contact or wait for Seek to do a bunch of other stuff. And the contact came off and it was real, so take the shot. Perfectly fine, in my opinion.
Yep, and there we go. It's the exact situation I described. Now we're going into balcony. Virifaux still on match point, just needs to win one of these games. But, I mean, winning one game on balcony isn't necessarily that easy. It's a very split map in terms of spy sniper win rates. Some people call it a coin flip. I don't really agree with that term because I do think that there's always a way to win.
Yeah, I don't think I would call it a coin flip either because that also just doesn't take into account the fact that it is possible to play balcony well.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, you can end up with two suspects sometimes and they're both talking a lot and you don't know which, but there's always something to see, I think. So I would never call it a coin flip if I make the wrong shot because I'm sure I could have done better. But
no. That said, it is pretty close to a 50-50 as far as sniper versus spy, so there is that.
Yeah. So KumaKid just going to be hoping to get 2 wins here. If that happens, we'll be going into extra time.
So Kuma basically needs to win 2 games of balcony and then win 2 more games of balcony somewhere down the line, which is a tough ask, but I've seen crazier.
I don't think that's correct. If you go to extra time, you don't necessarily get balcony. Balcony is only for sudden death.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't understand the format.
Yeah, if we go to extra time, we just play pub, courtyard, and library, and it becomes a best of 16. And if they're still tied after that, then we go to balcony.
Okay, I gotcha. I thought we were just going to balcony all day here.
All right, KumaKid going to be spying here as Duke. Disney seduction target enters right next to the ambassador. Looks like he's bugging. Instant contact. It could look like Disney bugged and is going for the contact, but KumaKid low lit because it was a green contact, right?
Yeah, I don't think we were. I think that was green contact.
Now we're getting a first flirt, green flirt, which means even though we're not near Disney, we're still getting 38% in range for a 3 flirt.
And we're only right next to the double agent, so this looks balcony. So we don't know that's the double agent, but it still looks really good.
Yeah, as long as we don't look like we flirt with General. Oh, thank you, Disney, leaving the conversation and coming back so that the timer can expire.
Talking right away, and we get low lit. He gets low lit for it.
What? A bug! Whoa, that's the only way to get shot as a low lit. Why did you do that?
Goodness. I know it totally worked though. He didn't see that at all.
It worked, but oh my god!
Wow! Oh, what a great bug. I mean, I don't know if Viri might have seen it if he was zoomed out, but he was zoomed in at that moment, and it was just completely off screen.
Oh my god, Viri's got to be feeling bad about that one.
Beautiful.
First you missed the bug, and second you had the spy low lit. And wow, KumaKid, the courage needed to go for that bug.
Yeah, that was brave. That was very brave. I love it.
That's incredible. And with that, now KumaKid just needs 1 more win, and we will see our first extra time set of the summer.
Oh, I want it. I want it so bad.
Me too. Me too. Definitely not feeling great for Virifaux right now. He had a pretty commanding lead. It was up 5-2. Now he's lost the last 2 games, and just losing 1 more means it'll go into extra time. Virifaux also playing as Duke here, looking to return the favor.
It's very hard for me to judge how Viri plays balcony because I don't know if it works out for him more often than not, but it did look like those soft low lights kind of burned him a little bit in that match.
Yeah, there's a white contact. Viri's not able to get the green one. It was Duke and Rocker who were the ones talking during that. Hopefully for KumaKid, he's noticing that, because that does mean that we already talked once and we still don't have the flirt. Not only that, but our seduction target is all the way across from us. So if Virifaux wants to finish here, he's going to need to be doing probably a lot of talking, a lot of chasing. But it looks like he's going to... No, he's not going for it. He's hitting a red test. I think Viri agrees with what I just said, that it would be hard to talk 3 or 4 more times for the flirt, and so he's not going for it. He's hoping that a civilian gets shot.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Kuma do much at all here. He hasn't taken any highlights, so we don't know if he knows who did the real BB or not. But Duke definitely did talk twice there, so that's very visible.
Yeah, he talked twice. Could look like he's flirting, even if he does hit the red test, I guess. My guess is that Virifaux's not going to continue flirting. Oh no, KumaKid wants to take the shot on Pearls, but KumaKid has been hesitating on shots all night. He doesn't take it. He might take it on Pearls if she talks again, so we just need to hope for KumaKid's sake that Pearls does not talk here.
Well, is she talking?
No, she's not talking. Virifaux talked for a flirt, now he's leaving. Pearls is still not talking. If she talks 1 more time, she might get shot. And that's what it's coming down to. She's going to talk. Instead, the safety came off on Sorry. Now the laser hovering over Pearls again, but still KumaKid holds the shot.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, KumaKid shoots Orange Sorry and just misses out on extra time. That's the set. That's the set for Virifaux, though. 6-4 win.
That was a really interesting set. We saw so many spy timeouts, difficulty completing missions, and it just feels only appropriate that the last one was another mission completion difficulty, but with a wrong shot. Very well played set though by Kuma. Really shouldn't feel too bad about that. Just had some bad luck with mission completions. That happens to the best of us.
Yeah, that's like you said, 4 timeouts earlier. I don't think there were any more, but oh man, that was so close. Oh my god.
So close.
When KumaKid got that spy win on balcony with the bug. Let's go back and take a look at that actually. I think we have a little moment here. I don't mind taking a look. Let's see. Here's this bug right at the end. Let's get that sniper camera up. Oh yeah, wow, that arm was not even visible. That was a very good bug, even if we weren't low lit.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then just unfortunately couldn't hold the shot, and it's really sad because, like I was saying, KumaKid was being really tentative with the shots a lot in the earlier games, but he always ended up shooting someone. So I think for KumaKid, there's a lot of lessons to learn from this set.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong arm bug again here too, and it's a really good bug. It's a really good bug. It's tragic that Kuma wasn't able to bring it back to a tie at the end.
Yeah. Well,
But well played to Viri though, who was very patient as a sniper, and it paid off.
indeed. And so with that, Virifaux is going to be moving on to the next round. And this is unfortunately the end of KumaKid's journey in the Summer Cup. But KumaKid, I say, has a lot to be proud of, making it out of group stages, making it out over Turnout 8, and then nearly bringing it to extra time with Virifaux. Definitely a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. I really would not be ashamed of Kuma's performance here tonight or in all of Summer Cup. Did really well.
And so Virifaux is going to be going on to face either Turnip Boy or Max Edward Snacks. We're going to find out who on Sunday. And then coming up tomorrow on the official SpyParty channel, twitch.tv/SpyParty, we have the big cast. Every Saturday and Sunday we do our official cast, and we are going to be seeing 3 matches. And that's going to be tomorrow. There is a live match. Live match between Screwloose and Catnip, followed by Rio versus Coddy, and then the big one, KCM versus Dowsey. That's going down
my goodness.
tomorrow. I mean, that's like, to me,
Round of 32. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
that's like, that might be like the match of the summer as far as like what I'm the most excited to see.
Yeah, same.
And then on Sunday coming up, there's going to be the live match between Turnip Boy versus Max Edward Snacks. Then we're also going to be seeing Pofke versus Falcon Hit. And finally, Yeesh versus Yerand. I mean, isn't it crazy how many good matches there are
That's another good one too. Yeah,
in the
wow.
round of 32?
That's really insane that we had so many groups where these incredibly good players could take second, and then the fact that those players would get matched up with other great players is insane. Like,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah, that whole top right half of the bracket. All
Oh
right.
boy.
Well, looks like that's it for tonight. So thank you, Paratroopa, for co-casting.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to the players for allowing us to cast them. Even if we are sometimes critical about the plays, it is all in the spirit of good fun and just having games to talk about, because that's what we all enjoy doing.
That's
And
what we do.
thank you to everyone for tuning in and watching. See you this weekend.
Bye.